In my last video, we talked about a vintage-inspired Seiko 5 watch that I really didn't care for. This time it's a total opposite. This watch may be better than a Grand Seiko. Stick around and let's explore this beauty together. Shout out to my friend Brian from GQ Jewelers for lending this piece into the channel. There's no way I would be able to review so many watches without him lending a hand, so please go support his business. A few years back, Seiko released a few 1960s inspired watches, a new series within the broader Presage line with an undeniable elegant flair to them. These watches were inspired by a vintage chronograph model. There are two distinct models within this series, a simple time and date and a skeletonized version with a 24-hour subdial. Today we will be taking a look at the SRPG05 that retails for $525. The entire watch and bracelet are constructed of 316L stainless steel. The most striking feature on this watch is the dial. It's beautiful in a Grand Seiko type of way, but for a fraction of the cost. The case dimensions are as follows. The case measures in at 40.8 millimeters. It's 47 millimeters from lug to lug. The thickness comes in at 12 millimeters, and in between the lugs, 20 millimeters. The watch only has 50 meters of water resistance, and with the incised bracelet, it weighs in at 134 grams. I've always been a fan of the Presage case shape. It's elegant yet sporty. This truly can be a one-watch collection for someone that's not obsessed with watches like we are. I personally wouldn't be able to just own one watch, let alone this one. The watch features a box-shaped Hardlex crystal because for whatever reason, Seiko only reserves sapphire for more expensive pieces. I understand 50 meters water resistance is plenty, but I'm more of a 100-meter water resistance kind of guy. Do I need that much water resistance? No, but heck, I'm paying the money. I want my stuff to be over-spec'd. Can you blame me? The finishing on the case is basic, but in Seiko terms that means the quality is good. In fact, it rivals the other more expensive brands. By the way, the case does feature drill lugs, so changing straps should be very easy on this. At the 3 o'clock, there's a sign push and pull crown that's easy to grip. The blue dial is truly beautiful, and that's the reason I would recommend this specific model to anyone looking for a Grand Seiko alternative. The way it plays with the light is great. The overall dial design is quite simple and very on brand for its mid-century inspiration. The hour markers are applied, and right below them there's painted rectangles. I really think the date window should have been color matched to the dial, and perhaps the word automatic removed from the dial for that more cleaner vintage aesthetic. In typical Seiko fashion, lume is good and bright. The hour markers and hands are treated with Seiko's Lumibrite, and depending on the dial variant, the lume is treated to the same faux aging. I find it comical though, how small the dial looks. I think Seiko should have put the lume on the upper side of the markers as opposed to the lower side. On the caseback, we find a display caseback, and through it we can admire the Seiko Caliber 4R35 that has a date complication, beats at 21,600 beats per hour, and has an approximate power reserve of 41 hours, and it's simple yet reliable. Is a display caseback necessary? Is the movement finish in a level that a watch snob would be impressed? The answer to both, of course, is no, but who cares? Watches at this price point should be fun and not take themselves very seriously. That display caseback is a good way to show off your automatic watch to people that are, well, not watch crazy like us. The bracelet is okay. It does feature a mill clasp and a sign deploying buckle, but the finishing feels underwhelming. But then again, the Grand Seiko bracelets are not great, especially when you're paying thousands of dollars. On my 6 7/8 inch wrist, the watch, well, it's beautiful. I do like the fixed bezel, but since I like to fidget with things, I found myself trying to spin it. I still really can't pinpoint the look of this watch. Is it a sports watch? Is it a dress watch? Does it really matter? Look, my opening statement was, this watch may be better than a Grand Seiko. In terms of finishing, I would be lying if I said this was better. The movement, well, also inferior to a Grand Seiko, but the dial on the other hand is done well, very well. Sure, it's not to the standards of GS, but for the price you're paying, this watch delivers, and in my opinion, it's a better value for your money. So if you're just getting into watches, this is a great watch to get. If you've been into watches, this is a great watch as an everyday kind of watch, or a beater watch, if you will. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have ever seen this model in person and what you think of Seiko as a brand and Seiko dials. Let me know what you think of the comparison that people always make between Grand Seiko and Seiko. Anyway, be safe out there and stay humble.